CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
It's been a remarkable season for Bill Belichick's New England Patriots, a season of defying expectations, a season which has gained momentum with each passing week.
Holy smoke! David Pett, and it's intercepted! Buckley, touchdown Patriots! Patriots win!
Quarterback Tom Brady has led this amazing turnaround. The Patriots have won 4 straight, and now they challenge for the AFC East crown.
The players have bought into what Coach Belichick has been preaching for the last year and a half, and that's to be tough, to be disciplined, to be mentally aware of the situations, and to never defeat yourself out there.
Today, they face the Miami Dolphins, who are vying for their 2nd straight division title, sparked by their dominating defense and Jason Taylor.
Tough, aggressive, relentless, we're enthusiastic, energetic, and we love what we do.
Combined with their offensive stars, the Dolphins, too, aim for victory in this showdown for AFC East supremacy. Next. You won't find a bigger game on the calendar than the one on tap here in New England today. The 9-4 Miami Dolphins, the 9-5 New England Patriots. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Foxborough. Along with Phil Simms, I'm Greg Gumbel. Very simply, the AFC East is up for grabs today, and the winner here takes a giant step forward. Look at the numbers. The Dolphins and Patriots neck and neck atop the division. Miami clinches a playoff berth with a win. New England will try to prevent that. And Phil, the Patriots' turnaround this season coincides with the advent of second-year quarterback Tom Brady, who's won 9 of his 12 starts.
Not bad being 9-3, a second-year player, a first-year starter. Tom Brady coming in for one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League, and Drew Bledsoe. He has supplied leadership for this football team, even though it's only a second year. But maybe the biggest thing, Greg, only 10 interceptions in those 12 starts. That's the reason why they're winning.
On the other side of the field, the Miami offense has been up and down, but there is no question about the Dolphin defense, which ranks 3rd overall in the NFL.
Yeah, they do a good job. They're good and solid, Greg, and one of the reasons why they don't have to gamble on defense is because of people like Zach Thomas. Zach Thomas and the defensive linemen, the linebackers, do such a good job at stopping the run. It allows the secondary not to have to cover people too long. Patrick Surtain, good cover corner, and Sam Madison, one of the best in the NFL. They're the reasons why this defense is solid, and it's going to be a tough test for the Patriots offense.
When these teams met in October, Miami won by 20, but the location is different today, and the stakes are much, much higher. The kickoff from Foxborough is coming right up. It is a clear day in New England and fairly chilly at 34 degrees, and our forecast is for a mostly sunny afternoon. Let's go downstairs to our man on the sidelines, Armin Katayan. Armin.
Thank you, Greg. When Bill Belichick saw that weather forecast yesterday, he had one word for it: perfect. Just the kind of weather his team practices and plays in all the time. He hopes the kind of weather, as it kind of gets cooler today, that might throw Jay Fiedler off his game. Well, speaking of weather, the most famous game here, as this guy goes right through, 1982, the snowplow game where Mark Henderson drove that tractor on the field, setting up the game-winning field goal. Well, earlier today, they reenacted that famous moment as Mark Henderson, on that same tractor, drove out onto the field to some wild cheers. An end of an era here in Foxborough, another era next season. The Patriots move into a brand new, privately financed, $325 million stadium, a tribute to the owner, Robert Kraft. Greg, back to you.
All right, Armin, and that stadium right next door. We'll have shots of it throughout the afternoon. The Dolphins have won the toss. They have elected to receive, and we are underway as this one rolls down and into the end zone for the touchback. And so the Dolphins will begin 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line as Jay Fiedler comes out onto the field. Intercepted 3 times, sacked 6 times in the loss to San Francisco last week. Those 3 picks bringing him up to 18 on the season.
Well, Greg, we talked to Jay Fiedler last night. And I think one of his best qualities as a quarterback in this league is he has a short memory. I asked him, said, what about the 3 interceptions last week? Did it bother you as the week started? And he goes, nope, when I got off the plane coming back from San Francisco, it was over. That's the way he is.
Right off the bat, on the ground, Lamar Smith.
The Miami offensive line, it's had injuries this year. Tim Ruddy, he's the leader at center.
In the backfield with Lamar Smith is Rob Conrad. Chris Chambers starts for Oronde Gadsden, who will not play today with a bothersome left hamstring. McKnight is the other wide. And there you see the head coach, Dave Wanstead. 2nd and 6. Lamar Smith again, trying to pop it out to the right side, and he doesn't get there. Bobby Hamilton wraps him up. Let's check that New England defense. Across the front, Hamilton, Brandon Mitchell, the outstanding rookie, Richard Seymour, and Anthony Pleasant.
The linebackers for the Patriots, Teddy Bruschi, number 54. He's everywhere. He's having an outstanding year.
Fine secondary here in New England with Law and Otis Smith at the corners. Bucky Jones and Lawyer Malloy are the safeties, and the head man here in New England, who has turned this thing around, Bill Belichick. 3rd and 5. Fiedler pulls it down and runs. Up the middle, is hit short of the 30-yard line. Not enough for the first down. Bucky Jones and Richard Seymour tracked him down.
Well, we got some good sound on the field today, I think, but the one thing, a couple things that this Patriots defense does, they're very good on 3rd down passing situations because they do a lot of different things on defense. But their main goal today, 3rd and 5 and less, do not let Jay Fiedler run up the middle for the first downs. They had 2 players there that time, and they stopped it.
Troy Brown is deep for the kick from Matt Turk. Not very far at all, and is down inside the 40-yard line. And onto the field will come Tom Brady. As we said, 9-3 since coming on in relief of an injured Drew Bledsoe earlier in the season. And his numbers very impressive, Phil.
Yeah, they are. But, Greg, you know, a lot of talk up here. He struggled the last couple of weeks because the numbers are not outstanding. Look, that's the way it is for every quarterback in this league. But we said something to Tom Brady about it this week. And what did he tell us? He goes, Charlie Weiss, the offensive coordinator, he said he brought me in his office and he gave me a tongue lashing. So it kind of stepped him out of everything. And I think Tom Brady feels good about this game.
From the New England 38. Brady to throw on first down, right over the middle and complete out to the 45-yard line to Kevin Falk coming out of the backfield.
The New England offensive line, they put it together this year. Damian Woody, you got to watch him today, very active as a center.
In the backfield, Antoine Smith and Mark Edwards. Troy Brown, and an outstanding receiver, along with David Patton. Rod Rutledge is the tight end. There is Charlie Weiss, he of the tongue-lashing variety. On 2nd and 3. The pitch and the reverse. Here comes Troy Brown, and Brown's going to go back the other way. Gets a block, tries to turn the corner, and is close to midfield. Jermaine Haley tracked him down.
Well, this is just Troy Brown making the play because the Miami Dolphins, they said early, we're going to be alert for all the gadgets that the New England Patriots like to run, and they had people in position to make the play. Some good blocks on the backside. Moreland Greenwood gets blocked. Boy, look at Troy Brown, a receiver. When they run the football, I don't know if he's alert or just scared right there when you look at those eyes. I think alert's the better word.
On first down, trying the left side is Antoine Smith. Let's check the Miami defense. Kenny Mixon, Tim Bowens, Jermaine Haley, Jason Taylor, familiar front four.
The linebackers for the Dolphins, Zach Thomas, he is a tackling machine.
In the secondary, Patrick Surtain had surgery on the little finger of his left hand, but he's out there with Sam Madison on the corners. Brock Marion and Brian Walker are the safeties. Defensive coordinator Jim Bates calls the defensive calls for Miami. And straight ahead inside the 45-yard line to about the 43 was Antoine Smith. pickup of 5, and it'll be 3rd and 2.
Oh, Antoine Smith, you look at him, number 32. I think he's one of the biggest reasons why this Patriots team has turned it around from early in the year, and especially from last year. Bill Belichick told us, he says, I went out this offseason, I knew I needed a powerful, big runner. Antoine Smith became available in June when the Bills let him go, and they picked him up right immediately, a day after.
Straight ahead, inside the 40-yard line, and a 1st down for New England. Derek Rogers made the stop, but Antoine Smith, as you said, Phil, Buffalo just let him go, and what a terrific find for the Patriots.
Well, you know, you always got to find a place or an offense that suits you. I think Antoine Smith has found that right here. And when you look at this Miami defense today, they have been just average when it comes to stopping the other team's run game of late. And we saw Smith that time going up in the middle where Darrell Gardner used to be for the Dolphins and getting the 1st down.
Brady to throw. Pulls it down, now looks outside and completes it inside the 35 to Troy Brown. Out of bounds at about the 32-yard line, and here is the young man who has really picked up his game this season in the wake of all the problems on and off the field with Terry Glenn.
Look at him, plenty of time to get open. And Troy Brown, a lot of people don't know the name. The Miami Dolphins do, and the best respect you can get as a player, Dave Wannstedt said last night, we're going to know where he's at, and when we need to, we're going to double team him to take him out of their offense today.
He gives to the 1st man through, Edwards, and Edwards bulls his way to the 30-yard line. Appears to be about a yard shy of a 1st down.
You know, Greg, you look at this game, the start of it. We do games every week in the National Football League. Usually just before the game starts, the fans are just filling up the stadium. Today, this stadium was full way before the start of the game. Everybody anticipated it, and Dave Wannstedt was worried about really one thing. He wants his team to get off to a good start, especially when on the road here in the stadium where the fans are a factor.
Keep the crowd out of it early on 3rd and 1. Try on the left side for a 1st down, and much more is Antoine Smith still on his feet inside the 20-yard line.
Not a good sign. It's not only that you run the ball and you get a 1st down, it's that you run it in there. And once your players make contact, the Dolphins make contact. Let's just watch. There's about 5, 7, maybe 8 yards, but the enthusiasm, the effort by the Patriots offensive players right now is greater than the one Miami is putting out.
1st down at the 19-yard line. Brady throws outside, complete to the tight end, Jermaine Wiggins. And Moreland Greenwood there for the stop after a 3-yard pickup, and it'll be 2nd and 7.
Yeah, we just saw, I think, a real big key, too, for Miami's defense there. New England, and Greg, we watch it, they throw a lot of short passes. And the key for the Dolphins defense, okay, let him complete 2-yard passes. Just make sure you make the tackle. And that's what's hurt the Dolphins defense and the opponents of the Patriots. The Patriots catch short passes and make good runs afterwards.
Smith looking for running room and up the middle and gets it to the 16-yard line. Zach Thomas, Moreland Greenwood in on the stop. Remember, this Miami defense in their first meeting held New England to 147 total yards.
Yeah, but you know, that was like 6 years ago. That was week 4 of the NFL season, and so much has changed. Some of the players have changed, the styles. You know, the Dolphins, they thought they were one of the best teams in the league then. They've proven it. They're pretty good at 9-4. But the Patriots, so much better and so much more diversified since that time.
J.R. Redmond onto the field and into the backfield now as Brady drops back and throws outside, completes a Patrick pass, and pass looking for 1st down yardage is close.
Not a good spot. It looked like he got past the 10-yard line, but it's going to be 4th and about a yard, a good yard.
Line of scrimmage is the 10.
Oh, they're not.
And Bill Belichick looks like he's going to go for it.
Yeah, there wasn't any hesitation. I saw Charlie Weiss calling into play immediately. And they spotted the ball short of the 10-yard line.
4th and 1. Smith.
No.
He didn't get there. Moreland Greenwood led the defensive charge. Everyone on the Miami sideline says we're going the other way, and you know what? They're right. A fine drive by New England is halted with 6:05 to play in the first.
Well, the Dolphins defense on 4th and 1, they played run all the way. Jermaine Haley, submarines underneath, then Moreland Greenwood and Brock Marion make the tackle.
Lamar Smith on first down for the Dolphins, out across the 10, and the penalty marker is down. Our first flag of the day after a 3-yard pickup, but it's going to bring the play back and put the Dolphins into a deeper hole. What did you think about that 4th down call?
Well, I didn't even, everything happened so fast. I'm not a second guesser, but my first thought was kick the field goal. It was 4th and 1 full yard, and I thought it was important to keep the crowd.
66 offense. Half the distance. Remains first down.
I thought it was important to keep the crowd and the emotion and all of it going for your football team. So, big gamble by Bill Belichick, but does not pay off. And I think the biggest thing, Greg, is I watched the replay during commercial. The Dolphins were playing run with everybody. If New England would have thrown it, they were willing to give it up.
Bill Belichick obviously looking for even more crowd involvement with a first down and perhaps a touchdown rather than 3 points on the board.
Well, we heard that they're going to respot this football. They got on the wrong hash. We heard Dave Wanstead tell us last night his biggest worry, too. He goes, man, New England, they are a fast, starting, tremendous first-half football team, and the stats do bear that out. They score most of their points first half, especially in the second quarter.
So 1st and 15 now for the Dolphins. Fiedler still has it, looks downfield, throws, and wide open and complete to James McKnight, number 80, out across the 25 and close to the 30-yard line for a first down.
Well, I think we're going to see a different offense today from the Miami Dolphins. When they do throw it, move Jay Fiedler, spread the defense out, or use play-action passes, and that time just a good design, takes advantage of the defense. That's why the receiver, McKnight, is wide open.
We were congratulating James McKnight, proud papa of a 6-pound, 6-ounce James Jr. just 2 days ago.
So he needs a road trip to get some rest, that kind of thing as a father. But congratulations to him and, of course, his wife.
Lamar Smith. Big hole up the middle across the 35, pulls his way out to the 38-yard line. Lamar Smith enjoyed a terrific day running the football against these Patriots back in October. He had 144 yards rushing.
Gosh, I tell you, that if you look at some of the Dolphins, they say, man, that's the last time we ran the ball well, because they have struggled with their running game. They've had injuries, changes at the offensive line, and Lamar Smith, even with all this, is just not having the type of year that he wants. Fumbles have made him a cautious runner at times, but a good start for him today.
Lamar Smith, 3 carries, 13 yards on the day. Fiedler going to give it to him again. And Smith out over the 40, and that's enough for a first down. Let's talk a little bit about these warm weather Miami Dolphins coming up here into the cold weather to play.
Well, good start for him here, just avoiding. Well, I always say a couple things. When you play in these type of cold games, and if it's your first one of the year, you've got to get used to handling the football. Jay Fiedler said it last. The football absolutely is harder, not as easy to take control of, and it usually affects running backs and wide receivers more than anybody.
And someone else. First and 10.
That's right.
On the reverse, here comes Dedrick Ward. Ward trying to turn the corner is out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. It was interesting to hear both of these coaches in the last couple of days talking about how the other one likes to play tricks so much.
Yeah, and Dave Wanstead said that last night to you. Well, they run all these tricks, and you looked at him and go, and you don't? You run as much as him. You said it to him, and Coach thinks, and he goes, yeah, you might be right. We might do it as much as the New England Patriots do. But nowadays, in this league, you have to run them, and you should. You've got to make the defense always be honest, because the players, if you don't keep them honest, they're too good. They'll make you have a bad day on offense.
Lamar Smith trying to reach midfield. Brandon Mitchell, Richard Seymour with the stop up the middle of that New England defense. After a 4-yard pickup, it'll be 3rd and 1.
And, you know, the other thing, Greg, I tell you what, I hope those referees, officials watch their language today, because I'm hearing every word of it. But this Miami offense, we knew it, and I kind of expected it. Dave Wanstead told us last night, it's going to be conservative. They're going to manage the game better. Just play it close, and if the game is close in the 4th quarter, that's all they want, because they believe Jay Fiedler can win it for their football team late.
Play fake to Smith. The pass is incomplete. Coming up to make the play on Dedrick Ward was Ty Law.
Yeah, Dedrick Ward says Ty Law hits him before the throw gets there, but I had a great view of it. It's just a good play by Ty Law. Jay Fiedler just a little bit late with the football. Yes, there was contact. Yes, what? I know. You just can't call him off. I did not think, I thought Ty Law was in good position. So there.
Troy Brown deep for the kick from Turk. Oh, this one goes nowhere. Troy Brown didn't even have to worry about this one as it floats out of bounds, way short of what Matt Turk wanted. We'll be back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36. American Express, wishing you all the best this holiday season. And by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
Welcome back to Foxborough. 2:13 to play in the first quarter, and Tom Brady, who engineered a drive that came up short at the 10-yard line. 4 out of 4 on the day. And, you know, as we talked to Tom 2 days ago and talked to him about the magnitude of this game, he says, you know, the buildup hasn't been as evident because of the short week.
Yeah, I think that always helps quarterbacks or players coming off bad weeks or playing a big game. The quicker it gets there, you know, the less their nerves will become a factor.
Brady to throw. And incomplete, thrown just behind Troy Brown. His first incompletion of the day, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, just too much pressure on the quarterback. Brady doesn't have enough room to step up and really throw the football accurately, and kind of fortunate that it didn't get him in trouble.
You know, one of the interesting things about Tom Brady as he took over for Drew Bledsoe, everyone wondered whether or not he was prepared to play, and there's Drew Bledsoe on the side. Brady said, you know, I probably played and threw more passes before the season began than Drew did.
Yeah, in the preseason, he really got a lot of work, and it's a good thing they worked their backup quarterback well, because it's served him well.
The quick pass. That one is incomplete. Looks like it might have hit Mike Compton in the back.
Yeah, that just was a blow up from the start. And, boy, we heard it, too, last night. Zach Thomas says, we have got to stop their screens. They do so many of them. And in the NFL, to stop screens, your defensive linemen have got to know when they're going to the quarterback, you got to say, I'm not that good of a pass rusher, so something's wrong here. Stop and look for the screenplay. The Dolphins were all over at that time.
So it's 3rd and 10 now. And Brady and the Patriots go with 5 wide receivers, and Brady out of the shotgun. Zach Thomas rushing late, and now in pursuit. The pass is incomplete as Brady was on the move.
Good job by the Dolphins. And Zach Thomas, what he is a blitzer. He's sneaky. That's just the best way to say it. He just doesn't line up and take off. Watch number 54. He waits and lets you commit to your blockers or to who you're going to block. Then he shoots right at the quarterback, forces Brady out to the incompletion. Timing, that's the most important thing about blitzing.
Jeff Ogden deep for the kick from Ken Walter.
Beautiful.
Ogden from the 22. And gets tangled up short of the 35-yard line. Bumped into his own man. The clock has stopped. 1:48 to play in the first. We're scoreless in New England.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by TLC's Robotica and by Pizza Hut, where every week this fall you can get one of our pizzas for an unbelievable price.
happy holidays to you and yours from all of us here at CBS Sports as we continue from Foxborough in the final minutes of the first quarter of a scoreless game. Lamar Smith in a double tight end setup for Jay Fiedler on first down. Fiedler down the middle. Has his man. That's complete to Jed Weaver. Loose football. And it's gone over. You have to wait in this day in the NFL of whether a pass is ruled complete and then fumbled or not. But Fiedler was on the money. Forces out of his control have New England back in charge, and we'll be right back. That's referee Jeff Triplett, and the Miami Dolphins have challenged whether or not this was a completion and a fumble. Let's go back and look.
Well, watch the completion. Weaver catches it in what is ruled a complete pass in the National Football League. It's not getting your feet to the ground. It's catching the football. And do you make a football move? And to my eye, complete control by Jed Weaver. And as he turns around, he is now making his initial move with the football. Then Bucky Jones hits him, knocks it out.
Otis Smith recovers. And, you know, as you said earlier, the New England Patriots want to get the ball into Jay Fiedler's hand because they're looking for the turnovers. But that one was at the opposite end of the play. Jay Fiedler made a pretty good pass.
Oh, pretty good. I mean, it was a terrific pass. And watch what Jay Fiedler, he throws over the top of one linebacker in front of Bucky Jones, who makes just a solid hit to the body that knocks it out. Now the big question is the longer this goes, what's that tell you? That there's some doubt in the mind of Jeff Triplett.
Then again, as we said, in these days in the NFL, a referee would really like to take a look at it from every angle before he goes out there and renders a decision.
Yeah, that's right. No matter what decision he makes, it's going to really get half the people mad. So,
well, here's Jeff Triplett about to make half some people mad.
After reviewing the play, the receiver caught the ball, 1 foot down, the second foot down, and turns and hit by the defender. Therefore, it is a catch, fumble, recovered by New England. The ruling on the field stands. Miami is charged a timeout.
And in that description of what happened, Jeff Triplett answering every question that Dave Wannstedt would have asked him on the sideline after he was finished.
And you know what? You know what's good? It answers the questions to all the people at home, to the people in the stands. You know, excellent job by Jeff Triplett.
Jeff Triplett walking into our truck before the game today, looking to be one of the brave souls with just a sport coat.
I like that. Doesn't worry about the cold weather.
Antoine Smith in the backfield as we come up on a minute and a half to play here in the first quarter.
Brady changing the play.
Brady pass out here, incomplete, intended for Jermaine Wiggins. And look at Jason Taylor, and what was Zach Thomas telling us about how well Jason Taylor plays the screen pass?
Well, I think Jason Taylor is, what has happened to Jason Taylor over the last couple years, he is just a football player. When he first came in the league, tall, fast, all he did was rush the quarterback and get sacks. But now he can play the run. He hustles. He's in position. And, you know, you hear this a lot, but he is absolutely a Pro Bowl player. One of the best.
Ready to throw on 2nd and 10. He'll try to screen out here again. And this one is complete to Troy Brown. And Brown inside the 45 to the 43.
Oh, and what a, hey, you know, you usually say what a throw when you throw it down the field 20 yards, but Tom Brady, watch how he has to drop the football over the head of Jason. Taylor reads it and just misses it. Well, if I was the Patriots, I'd be a little careful about some of these screens because it looks like that is really on the minds of the Miami Dolphins defense.
Third down.
Tom Brady, just 1 out of his last 5. Kevin Falk in the backfield alongside Brady in the shotgun on 3rd and 1. And it's to Falk, and Falk turns and throws it back for Brady. He's there! Inside the 25 and out of bounds for a first down.
Well, So many times the Patriots run gimmick plays or plays that are different. The Miami Dolphins think, hey, it's the snap to Falk, or they give it to him coming around the end. Brady watch him catch it and go around. Watch the defense react. They snap it to Falk. Nobody plays the quarterback. That would be the responsibility of the defensive end on that side most of the time. Nice fake by Brady. And a perfect throw, and not an easy catch, really, for the quarterback.
Antoine Smith cuts it back inside the 10, inside the 5. It'll be 1st and goal. Brian Walker saved the touchdown after the 19-yard gain.
That pass to the quarterback could be a game changer. Perfect time and a perfect execution by the New England Patriots.
We have come to the end of a scoreless first quarter, but it finds the Patriots threatening. We'll go to the other end of the field. Second quarter from Foxborough coming up right after this.
Tom Brady was wide open on this throw back to the quarterback. Look at Sam Madison. He goes across the field, covering the receiver, so there's nobody out there for Tom Brady. And really, when you run trick plays, the key is, and I don't know if trick play is not a good, different plays, the key is making sure you call them at exactly the right time, and that's what the Patriots did there. Charlie White, perfect timing, 3rd and short, caught the defense chasing the runner.
Number 93, the defensive tackle, Richard Seymour, in it, blocking back. Antoine Smith follows in, touchdown.
Boy, Richard Seymour, number 93, defensive tackle, turned fullback, did a good job that time leading the runner.
Who's the most pumped guy on the field? It was Tom Brady, who was ecstatic.
The Patriots have been really, really good at running the football into the end zone once they get inside the 10-yard line.
Antoine Smith, 6th touchdown in his last 5 games. Adam Vinatieri adds the extra point. Dave Wanstead didn't want to see it, but the Patriots grabbed the early lead, and excited Tom Brady is on top. We'll be back. The Patriots have been outstanding in the first half, even more so in the second quarter this season. Antoine Smith's 2-yard touchdown run has them up 7-0, and look at this short kick. Fair catch called for and made at the 29-yard line. While we have this opportunity, remind you, coming up on the Nextel halftime report, Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry, first half analysis, latest NFL news, visit with Seattle quarterback Matt Hasselbeck, maybe a little VH1 visit from Marcus Allen. All of that coming up on the Nextel halftime report. Did you hear Marcus singing in pregame show?
Yes, I did, you know, and it takes a lot of courage to sing on national TV. Well, that's a good job by Marcus.
First down on the 29-yard line. Lamar Smith. Not much there. A pickup of 1. Let's go to Armin.
You know, Greg, one of the nice things about this time of year is things can get pretty simple down here on the football field. Zach Thomas telling us yesterday, it's really time to fight fire with fire physically in order to win this game. But I really remember what Brian Cox said. He said, you know what, it's time to stand up and be like a man. We got beat physically the first time. We're not going to let it happen again. And right now, New England is winning this game physically on both sides of the ball. Back to you.
Yeah, Armin, Brian Cox was talking as we see Lamar Smith with the handoff again and doesn't get much there. Brian Cox was very, very plain. He said, they just kicked us around the last time we played them, and I just want to see if they can do it again.
Yeah, did he say it like that?
No.
But yeah, Brian Cox, I said, how you doing, Brian? He goes, well, I only play about 8 plays a game, so I am fresh and ready to go. But what he does, he brings emotion. He is a tremendous competitor, a hard hitter. So when he comes in, I think he's going to play more than 8 plays a day. But when he comes in, he brings a lift to the defense.
Travis Minor and Rob Conrad as Fiedler goes to the shotgun on 3rd and 8. Pulls it down on the move, throws out here, incomplete, intended for Conrad. And under pressure in the backfield. the Dolphins go out.
Well, you know, you hear this every week from us and announcers and coaches. You want to get the other team in third down and really passing situations. But the Dolphins, their strength is not doing that. 3rd and 8, very hard to pick it up, especially when you keep Jay Fiedler in the pocket.
In 4 possessions, Miami has managed just 2 first downs.
Beautiful.
A better job of kicking it in this direction. Troy Brown from the 20. And just across the 25-yard line. 49-yard punt, 5-yard return. Antoine Smith celebrating the game's only touchdown so far.
On behalf of the Miami Dolphins, we would like to take this time to wish all of our military personnel a very happy holiday season and thank you for protecting our freedom.
Happy holidays.
Thank you, Coach, and we, of course, add our best wishes and thanks for happy holidays. The Patriots, first down at their own 27. The pitch for Antoine Smith. Smith cuts it back across the 30, 35, and 40, and there he goes. Dragged down inside the 30-yard line. Patrick Surtain made the saving tackle, and Zach Thomas told us on the pitch to Antoine Smith, he loves to cut back behind his lead man.
That's what he did. You think the play is going to go outside. Watch Damian Woody, the center. He gets on Zach Thomas, gets him out of the play, knocks him down, and then Antoine Smith. Look, I know he's fast, but it looks like, watch Woody, 65, coming around, makes the block, stays with it, knocks Zach Thomas to the ground, and nobody there to pick it up.
45 yards on the play as Antoine Smith goes over 1,000 yards on the season. 21 is J.R. Redmond and his carry. It'll be second down.
Yeah, a couple things. You know, Damian Woody, number 65 at center. We heard Zach Thomas say it. He pulls on runs more than any center he's seen in the league. Does a very good job of finding the blockers, the defensive players, and blocks them and allows Antoine Smith to make those good runs.
Damian Woody, the #1 draft pick in 1999, in his 3rd year out of Boston College, has developed into a formidable center.
Now you see Mike Compton, 77, is now the center. He does the shotgun snaps.
Brady with all kinds of time, and throws complete and now incomplete. And a penalty marker is down.
Well, that was a good job by Tom Brady, not letting the original throw go.
Pass was intended for Terry Glenn. This looks to be a call on Patrick Surtain.
Pass interference. Defense, number 22.
Patrick Surtain, number 23. Oh, I tell you, you know, he should yell. He's on him the whole way. He actually makes the quarterback double clutch. And Patrick Surtain had surgery, I think, on Monday. And now has his hand wrapped today and still playing.
This is Antoine Smith changing directions to about the 23-yard line. A pickup of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 8.
Now, you know, the San Francisco 49ers last week just lined up and ran the football at will the whole game against this Miami Dolphins defense. So Miami knows. They knew coming into this game, Patriots watched the film. That's what the Patriots want to do, and it's got to be a little demoralizing, the fact that the Patriots have come out and run the ball so well early in the game. Look at that. Last week, they gave up 160 yards rushing.
Brady. Quick pass out here. Complete to pass. Pass to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown.
Blown assignment by the Dolphins defense. Look at Brady.
Patrick Pass scores his first touchdown of the season.
If you score a touchdown, you better watch out because you're going to take a beating from Tom Brady. But the Dolphins blitz. Everybody comes. Nobody covers the back out of the backfield.
Not only is that the first touchdown of the season for Patrick Pass, it's the first of his career. Vinatieri for the extra point. The New England Patriots stay strong in the second quarter. It's a 14-0 lead. Patrick pass was Patrick catch for the touchdown.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by DirecTV, the #1 digital satellite entertainment provider. Miller High Life, to live simply, proudly, boldly, manly. This is the High Life. And by the Honda Accord. It's advanced, it's roomy, it's the Accord.
Remember New England's initial 12-play drive coming up short of the scoreboard at the 10-yard line. Now just 4 plays and 5 plays, and it results in touchdowns within a 4-minute span. From the 13-yard line, Chris Chambers, 25, 30, short of the 30. Dodged it back outside and is brought down at about the 27 by Matt Chatham. And let's go back to the touchdown.
Well, let's take a look at it. Here's the halfback pass comes out. Look at the blitz by the Miami linebackers, and none of the safeties come and cover the fullback. In fact, the Dolphins players running into each other. The tight end, Jermaine Wiggins, he's wide open for a touchdown too. So they weren't even in position to cover the play, and even the ones that were got picked off.
Tom Brady had not thrown a touchdown pass in his last 3 games. Gets one here. The give straight ahead, Lamar Smith, and Smith pulls his way out across the 30 to about the 33 or 34-yard line. Richard Seymour. Everybody has been talking about Richard Seymour, the 6th-round draft pick out of Georgia.
First-round draft pick.
I'm sorry, first-round draft pick.
You were close. But we look at Richard Seymour, you know, Greg Wright, we talked about him. He plays fullback down on the goal line, but Bill Belichick, what's really got him excited up here, he's 6'6", and for a tall person, very powerful and explosive. You usually don't hear those words about tall defensive linemen.
Quick pass out on 2nd and 4 is incomplete, intended for James McKnight.
You know, I look at this as a big series. The Dolphins just need to stop the rhythm that the Patriots offense has got. You do that by letting your offense pick up a couple first downs and let your defense rest and get its thoughts back about them. And Chan Gailey, third in this situation, you got to be alert for almost everything, because that's what you get from the Patriots on 3rd down.
Well, these Miami Dolphins are used to winning against New England. They've won 5 straight during the regular season, 6 out of 7 and 19 out of 25. They're down 2 touchdowns here. Fiedler down the sideline. That is incomplete, intended for McKnight. And it looked like Jay Fiedler looked around to see if perhaps the sun would have been a factor.
Yeah, I think he was, because when he let it go, McKnight was open. It looked perfect and got nothing out of it. Thrown against the next Dolphin, Terrell Buckley was on the coverage. Well, they're going to make them, as I've seen this game so far, they are going to make Jay Fiedler, especially on 3rd down, throw it outside. Covering inside very well.
From the 23-yard line, Troy Brown down to the 33. So we are under 10 minutes to play in the first half. New England ball when we come back. We remind you, you can log on to NFL.com, see how the playoff picture is shaping up. Who's in, who's out, who's on the bubble. Go to NFL.com or your America Online, keyword NFL.com.
You got to admit, Greg, it's a pretty good look for a football game. You look at the stands, not an empty seat, everybody in Patriot colors, and
they're having fun so far.
Yeah, well, it's just fun to be here in situations like this.
Here's Smith. And Smith out across the 35 to the 37, and let's go down to Armin Katayan.
Greg, Antoine Smith is in the game, but he's certainly not 100%. He was just on the sidelines. Trainers looking at his lower right leg injury, and obviously he's in a little bit of pain right now. We'll keep an eye on him. Back to you.
All right, Armin, so far today, Antoine Smith has 94 yards. He managed just 47 total rushing against Miami in the first meeting earlier this year. 2nd and 6, out across the 40, and he's close to another first down.
Well, you know, it's so important, and we talk to all coaches about this, Greg. When you're piecing your team together, you really got to have an idea of what you want to do. And Bill Belichick, 16 free agents during the offseason, the one thing he knew, they can find ways to create opportunities in the passing game, but to make it simple, he needed a big, powerful back. He needed somebody to get those yards that we don't pay enough attention to, those 2- and 3-yard gains in certain situations, and Antoine Smith has done it perfectly for this football team.
67. Hold the Bill, 3rd and 1. Antoine Smith. And Smith pulls to the 45 for a first down. And you see the way these Patriots are running the football. No team has been able, well, let's just say it wasn't as easy to do it when Daryl Gardner wasn't in the lineup.
Well,
in the lineup for Miami.
I don't care what team you are. When you lose a player like Daryl Gardner, no matter how good your backups are, Daryl Gardner was in there. He protected the linebacker, Zach Thomas. But what he did is he made plays in the backfield. He made runners lose 2 and 3 yards. That's something this Miami defense has missed, especially on the inside since he's been out.
Play fakes this time. The pass over the middle to a wide open Troy Brown. Brown inside the 40 to the 37-yard line, and that's what the running game will open up.
Yeah, you know, Greg, that is not a cliche, especially when you watch it here today. I've said this before. When you can't stop the run, what are you going to do as a defense? You are going to dig in harder to make sure you can stop it, and also your defense has to play zone because you got to make sure your players are looking at the runner too so they can come up and attack. That's why Troy Brown was wide open in the middle.
New England dominating play here in the first half. Give this to Redmond, and Redmond dodges inside the 35 to about the 33-yard line. Antoine Smith is up over 100 yards already, 102 yards rushing as we come up on 7 minutes to play in the first half.
And you know, the other thing the Patriots do that I really learned, and it's, you know, they went out and they got these 16 free agents, none of them what I would call stars. They, on both sides of the football, you see J.R. Redmond comes in and runs it. On defense, they play everybody, regardless of the situations.
The pitch to Redmond. Redmond tries to cut back. Jason Taylor cut that play short after, well, no pickup on the play. It'll be 35. Yeah, Lawyer Malloy was saying what we did was we went out and got guys who wanted to play football and know how to play football. And now we have a penalty marker down.
Well, I was looking at the field. I didn't see anything, and I saw that yellow flag go up. Sportsmanlike conduct
on Miami.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. 91 defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Oh, that's Lorenzo Bromell.
Well, he had to be taunting another player on the Patriots team.
Lorenzo Bromell has had his problems this year. He was fined $15,500 with a helmet-to-helmet hit on Peyton Manning, and then $12,500 for slamming Chris Wenke to the ground.
Well, as I'm watching it, when the Dolphins gave up that first down, I saw some of the players. They're upset. They're mad at themselves. They're down 14-0. They can't stop the run, and now they make a big mental mistake.
Here's Antoine Smith, right side, 10, and tripped up at the 8-yard line. Ryan Walker made the stop, and there's a shoe laying out at the 15-yard line. Antoine Smith lost his left shoe on the play, but ate up 9 yards in the process.
Yeah, Jermaine Wiggins makes a good block on the outside. Wide receivers, Troy Brown, another good block. Antoine Smith, 8 yards before the first defender even gets a hand on him. And Troy Brown, yep, he can receive it, and he can block too.
2nd and 1. Brady rolls, throws, complete, Troy Brown. And the penalty marker flies again.
I'm just going to guess, if that happens so quick, that's going to be what they call an illegal pick.
Pass interference, offense, number 35. 10-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Well, that would be Patrick Pass. First penalty against New England today.
That happens so fast. Sometimes you see a receiver come wide open. Look to the right of your screen. See if you can see Patrick Pass. On the outside. He's blocking before the football is thrown to the receiver.
On 2nd and 11, Brady throwing out that way again, and this one's incomplete to Mark Edwards.
That's a big play. I tell you that penalty now puts the Patriots in a tough situation. If you go down 21-0, I don't care how good almost any team in the league, that's too much to overcome in the National Football League. So the Dolphins have a chance to at least hold them to 3 or a field goal attempt.
Line of scrimmage is the 18-yard line, and Brady and the Pats are looking at 3rd and 11. And they're going to run it to the right side with Redmond, who cuts it back inside the 15-yard line before he is ganged up upon. And that'll bring the field goal unit on.
You know, that's just a good job by the coaches of New England. You manage the football game. And that's what Bill Belichick says. That's what we do. We don't have great talent. We just try to do a lot of little things right. It's 3rd and long. Make the field goal attempt a little easier for your kicker.
With 2 extra points today, Adam Vinatieri has 99 on the season. This would put him over 100 and would make him only the 2nd player in NFL history with at least 100 points in each of his first 6 seasons. From 32 yards out. Adam Vinatieri is right up there with Jason Elam in the NFL history books. 3 on the board makes it a 17-0 New England lead.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the United States Postal Service and by Remington Microscreen 3 TCT Shaper, a totally close shave even on the tough spots.
Welcome back to Foxborough. 17-0 New England scoring drive. 10 plays, 53 yards, resulting in the Vinatieri field goal. Chambers and Conrad are deep. Oh, and another very short pop-up. Fair catch called for and lost. Patriots are excited on the sideline, but the officials say Miami has the football, and now they've changed the call. Well, that's just a terrible botch of what should have been an easy catch.
Well, the first time I thought maybe the kicker missed it, but that time twice, Greg. So it tells me it's a plan by the Patriots. Short kick, making somebody handle the football that's not used to it. I could not see who missed it. I think it could be Ed Perry. He caught one before, 89. The ball spinning hard. He has to go forward. The sun's up there, and he misses it.
Here's Antoine Smith. Penalty markers fly as he tries the right side, and that'll bring the clock to a screeching halt at 4:19. So Jeff Triplett gets the call.
Oh, I think they might have 12 players on the field.
Illegal substitution. 21 defense. The player did not get off the field prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Well, part of Dave Wanstedt's message at halftime might be, guys, we can't be this bad in the second half, can we?
Hey, you know, listen, you got to at least be able to line up and just, you know, you get down and you lose last week 21-0, and the Dolphins are letting their emotions get to them.
Antoine Smith across the 35 to the 34. a pickup of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 2.
You know, in situations like this, when you're down on both sides of the ball, you just got to go. You got to really concentrate and just do your job. Don't try to do more. Don't try to get your football team back in by making a spectacular play, and don't commit penalties, which you should avoid. Sounds easy, doesn't it?
Very easy. Yeah. On 2nd and 2, Smith looks like he has enough for the first down.
And of course, I know we're in the first half, Greg, 3:20 to go, but the Patriots, boy, they can turn into one patient football team. You know, in this league, if you get like 1 first down or 2 running the football, you can eat up a half of a quarter on the clock. So the Patriots, they need the football, they need plays, and so their defense has got to get going and stop the New England offense and get out there on some 3 and outs.
Well, the Patriots lead by 17. It could be much more than that. One drive came to a halt at the 10-yard line. This is Mark Edwards. And Edwards brought to a stop just short of the 30-yard line as the clock winds down to 2:40, and there's Antoine Smith on the sideline, as Armin Katan reported earlier, having some problems with his right leg.
Yeah, I don't know if his leg is bothering him or it's just a hard hit or what, Greg, but
if you ask the Dolphins, he looks fine to us. J.R. Redmond is in the backfield. It's 2nd and 8. Brady to the outside, complete to Edwards out of the backfield. And a penalty marker is down in the backfield.
Personal foul. If this was a basketball game, Dave Wannstedt could like take his starters out and put in the reserves and, you know, change the tempo, but it's not.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. 29 defense. Half the distance. First down.
That's Sam Madison. Sam Madison was talking to us last night and says he'd like to see a little more attitude on the offense the way they have on the defense.
Yeah, well, too much attitude going on that defense too right now. Way too much.
And this is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Line of scrimmage is the 13-yard line. The Dolphins at the short end all day long and are now looking at another threat with 2 minutes to play in the half. Coming up in the Nextel halftime report, Jim, Mike, Randy, Jerry. First half analysis, latest NFL news. They will visit with Seattle quarterback Matt Hasselbeck, all coming up on the Nextel halftime report.
You know, I look at that halftime crew we got. We got 2 ex-coaches. I'd want to know, what do you know, I saw Dave Wannstedt during the timeout. He doesn't know whether to scream or what to do to these players. And as a coach, what do you tell them at halftime? I mean, there's a lot of ways to go here. I would think, I can tell, looking at that face right now, the head coach, that it might be quite loud.
He'll think of something.
I know one thing I would think of. If I was Miami in the defensive coaches, I would change how I'm playing defense. I would gamble more. I would put everybody up there to stop the run. You got some of the best corners in the league. Gamble to stop the run and say, hey, look, Sam Madison, Patrick Surtain, you've got to play great in the second half for us because we're going to put you out there all by yourself.
Bill Belichick says, you know what Miami can do. They trust their front 7 to stop the run, and their safeties are not going to come up and help no matter what. Brady throws outside, complete, Jermaine Wiggins, and Wiggins close to the 5-yard line before he's wrestled down.
You know, just plays like that. When you see a tight end, Jermaine Wiggins, catch a football and just the effort, the struggle, and everything he's trying to do to get that extra yards, that tells you what this team is focused, and they're going to do whatever it takes to win.
We have a Dolphin down just inside the 10-yard line, and it is Sam Madison.
Boy, Sam Madison fighting a shoulder that's been bothering him, missed a couple games. Well, a nice effort by Jermaine Wiggins. Gets his helmet knocked off. And this is, Greg, we're just watching, managing the game right. And another short pass by the Patriots. Tom Brady's only, I think, thrown 1 pass more than 5 yards down the field today.
Boy, Sam Madison suffered a separated right shoulder in Indianapolis, and we were asking him yesterday if it still hurts, and he says, yeah, it stings a little bit when I hit or get hit, but then it goes away. We don't know what this is that's bothering Sam.
Well, it's his leg. I don't know what part of it, but I know this. If you want to play the type of defense I was talking about in the second half, you're going to need him out there. And then, you know, we say a lot of things and we try not to embellish, but Patrick Surtain and Sam Madison really are excellent man coverage corners. They can take any receiver and run with them all over the field.
There's Surtain, the cast protecting that little finger on his left hand that was surgically repaired.
So, you know, he has no chance of cheating out there today. He can't grab any jerseys. Well, he can one-handed, I guess.
Number 24, Jamar Fletcher, has replaced Sam Madison. He's the rookie out of Wisconsin.
First-round draft pick.
3rd and 2, and Brady will go from the shotgun. Here comes the blitz. The pass to the outside, incomplete, and a marker is down. It was intended for Redmond. That was Kenny Mixon, the defensive end out there.
Oh, same thing. Pass interference on the outside receiver.
Offense, number 88. That penalty will be declined. 4th down.
Terry Glenn, the guilty man.
Sorry, Greg, twice they've run basically the same play, and both times the outside receiver has blocked before the football gets to the eligible pass receiver on offense.
So with 1:01 to play in the first half, onto the field comes Vinatieri and the field goal unit. And Antoine Smith going to make an early exit and head for the locker room.
Yeah, he's limping too, so.
From 23 yards out. Vinatieri's kick is perfect. Closing moments of the first half. New England in command by 20. Welcome back to Foxborough. Just under a minute to play. Miami has been almost helpless on offense as Vinatieri kicks it. Scooting along the ground, picked up by Dion Dyer, and Dyer out to about the 43 or 44 yard line. I want to remind you, tomorrow the playoff shakedown continues doubleheader style here on CBS. First, Tiki Barber and the Giants host Sean Alexander and the Seahawks, or Ray Lewis and the Ravens face Corey Dillon and the Bengals. And then Tim Couch leads the Browns into Lambeau to meet Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers. We ask you to check your local listings. It all begins with the NFL Today here on CBS. What's Marcus going to sing tomorrow? 8 total yards, 37 penalty yards, Miami.
I'm going to go in there and sing tomorrow, Greg. You didn't know?
I can't wait. Penalty marker is down. Fiedler throws, and that's close to the 45 yard line to James McKnight. It appeared someone jumped offside for New England. Let's see if it was number 55, Willie McGinnis.
Offside. Defense, number 55. The penalty is declined. Result of the play, 1st down.
So that moves the ball now into New England territory to the 46 yard line. And for Miami, their first down of this second quarter comes with 47 seconds to play in the first half.
We are reviewing the ruling on the field.
So under 2 minutes to play, the ruling becomes automatic prior to the snap of the next play.
You sure?
Fairly sure.
Okay.
I'm also subject to review.
Well, let's take a look at it. Jay Fiedler throws it to James McKnight. Now, if this ball is incomplete, okay.
Looks like a good catch.
No, it is. There's no question. And I'm only right about 50% of the time, but I'm right this time. But just, Greg, say it was incomplete. then the Dolphins, of course, would have the opportunity to say, okay, now we'll take the penalty, and it would have been 1st and 5.
You know, it was interesting talking to Bill Belichick about the way that this team has been built and rebuilt. He said last year there were 22 rookies on the team. This year they've had more competition and they have more depth. He said last year there were 22 rookies on the team. This year they've had more competition and they have more depth.
After reviewing the play, the receiver caught the ball, knee hit the ground, then the arm hit the ground. So the ruling on the field stands, a completed catch.
Jeff Triplett analyzing things so well that no, he can't be an announcer then. Can't do that. But yeah, you're right, Greg. The one thing, and I know this, and we always talk about these kind of subjects, if you want to win right now in this league, you're not going to do it with a bunch of rookies. You need hardened veterans, guys that just can't put up with losing anymore. They've gotten tough because they've been in the league a few years.
Fiedler with time throws incomplete, and that one defended by Terrence Shaw was intended for Dedrick Ward.
You know, such a match here. At that time, the Dolphins, look, they keep people in the backfield to protect, but it really limits your options down the field, and that's why you see 2 defenders on 1 receiver. The Dolphins only send out 3 guys or 3 wide receivers down the field.
Well, here's a harbinger of bad things for Jay Fiedler. Dedrick Ward has no catches, neither does Chris Chambers today. Fiedler with time steps up over the middle, and that's Chambers close to the 30-yard line. Enough for a 1st down.
Against Ty Law, good job. The protection is the key. Giving these receivers a long time to get open.
Here's a penalty marker.
Offside defense, number 93. Ran into the player as he was ready to snap the ball purposely. 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
I'm sorry, what did he do?
He ran, they were trying to hurry up.
Oh, okay.
And Richard Seymour kind of accidentally on purpose bumped into someone.
25. 1st down.
He's a rookie, so I suppose he can be forgiven. 1st and 5 from the 25. Fiedler with time and throws it away.
Well, you look at this game, and I just think 20-0, 19 seconds ago. You have 1 timeout. If they score, well, I don't have to tell you how big that is for the Miami Dolphins to score 7, but just to get 3 really will change their feelings and the way they'll come out and approach the 2nd half.
Fiedler just 4 out of 10 for 70 yards.
2nd down, 5.
You got it.
Pass inside the 20 to Dedrick Ward, and Ward has enough for a 1st down. And Miami uses its 3rd and final timeout to stop the clock with 13 seconds to play.
Well, now he's into the tough part of the field for the Dolphins. The New England Patriots, they are exceptional inside the 20, especially with their pass defense, and that has been the history ever since Bill Belichick has been in football coaching defense, that it's hard to throw the football once you get inside the 20 against what he does.
There's the story of the New England defense, and these last few plays, the Dolphins have taken extra care to give Fiedler some time to throw, and it's the most time he's had to throw today.
Yeah, and I like the plan they're doing. Protect it first, give the receiver probably 1 more second. It gives the quarterback 1 more second to see it. He's going to see it clear, and he's going to be more active throwing the football.
Remember, the Dolphins are out of timeouts. From the shotgun, Fiedler goes for the end zone. Incomplete, intended for Chambers, and the Dolphins looking for a jump ball in the corner of the end zone. It didn't materialize. It's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, there's not much they can do. 13 seconds ago, no timeouts. Jay Fiedler, you can't take a sack. You don't want to commit a penalty because that could run the clock out, and you must throw it in the end zone. The Patriots, smart, played it very well.
So Olindo Mare will come on to attempt a 36-yard field goal and at least get Miami on the board here before time expires. And he will do just that. Mare now 16 out of 17 on the year kicking. And the Dolphins are on the board. It's 20-3. And with just 3 seconds to play here in the first half. Coming January the 15th here on CBS, the creator of JAG brings you a new drama that dares to take you inside the Supreme Court. Joe Mantegna and James Garner star in First Monday. Don't miss the series premiere Tuesday, January the 15th, here on CBS.
Well, Greg, am I surprised about the first half? See, I'm doing your part too. I'm just going to ask myself a question. Yes, I'm really surprised because on paper, if you made me choose, I'd say I think the Miami Dolphins are probably the better football team. I'm surprised at the physical part, how it's been played, the lack of discipline with the Miami Dolphins. Now, on the other side, can the Dolphins still come back and win? How many games have we done this year? We've seen unbelievable turnarounds in the second half, and there's no doubt in my mind that could happen here today, too.
How many games this year have we been halfway out the door?
Hey,
and
listen,
all of a sudden you go, oh.
You wrote a couple of them off, and, you know, I hung in there. Well, whatever.
Along the ground, picked up.
Bruschi.
And Teddy Bruschi is run out of bounds at the 45-yard line, and that will bring us to the end of the first half. Pretty good job by Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. Let's go down Armin.
Thank you, Greg. Coach, you talked to us about managing the game. It appears so far you've managed to physically take control of this game.
Well, I think we're doing a good job, but there's a long way to go. And you know, this is a good team. They've come back before 5 times this year, so we got to keep it up.
All right, Coach. Thank you. Greg?
Bill Belichick knows exactly how many times Miami has come back. Our halftime score, New England 20, Miami 3. Coming up, off to Jim Nantz for the Nextel halftime report. Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry analyze the first half, get you caught up on the latest NFL news, and visit with Seattle quarterback Matt Hasselbeck. It all comes your way after these messages from your local station. This finale at Foxborough Stadium has brought back 3 decades of Patriots, and they were celebrated here at halftime. John Hanna, Mike Haynes, one of the great cornerbacks of all time, Steve Grogan, a tough quarterback, and the former wide receiver for the Colts and former head coach of the Patriots, Raymond Berry, and Irving Fryer of more recent vintage, and Ben Coates, the fine tight end. Drew Bledsoe of the modern day Patriots. Lots of names here today. Let's go down to Armin Katayan.
Steve, very emotional halftime ceremony. Your thoughts on this last regular season game?
Well, this has been a special place for all of the guys that were introduced today, and to have a full house here and have this team be in playoff contention makes it even specialer.
All right, thank you, Steve. Greg, back up to you.
All right, Armin, thank you. And as we prepare for this second half kickoff, you know, all of these Patriots have to say that, boy, they've seen themselves quite a performance of the modern-day Patriots here in the first half.
Well, they can also say, hey, we gave them some spirit. That's why they're doing so well. But really a tremendous performance by the Patriots, performance in the first half. And now the question is, what does Miami change in their philosophy in the second half to give them a chance to win?
From the 10-yard line, this is Patrick Pass. Out to the 30. And about the 32-yard line. Let's take a look at the numbers here in the first half. And boy, look at the number of first downs brought on by the New England Patriots. 14-5, and the total yardage 240 to 114.
Everything. When you look at stats like that, sometimes you go, well, the score is only 10-7, but the score, the stats, everything indicates the Patriots dominated the first half.
And now Brady and the Patriots will start with J.R. Redmond in the backfield. Antoine Smith with 118 rushing yards in the first half, a season high. And Redmond squirts through a hole on the left side close to the 40-yard line. And let's go down to Armin.
Greg, as you noticed, J.R. Redmond in the game. I'm told that Antoine Smith will play, though. Lower right leg contusion, but I'm told he will return to action. Back to you.
All right, Armin, and as you say that, we see Antoine Smith coming out of the runway and back onto the field and getting a standing ovation from the fans on the far side. 118 yards in the first half and almost 7 yards a carry. The pitch for Redmond. Redmond brings it back toward the middle of the field. And close to the 45 for a first down.
That's right, Greg. That's something you see more and more in the league. The pitch, you know, Tom Brady pitches it to J.R. Redmond. You expect him to go outside because that's what we all perceive when we see the toss play. But he takes it immediately, cuts it back, and ends up running right over where the center blocked his guy.
Redmond, a second-year back out of Arizona State and a third-round draft pick last year. On first down, Brady to throw. Brady to scramble. And Brady goes down at the 43-yard line. That will be the first sack of the game, brought down by Ernest Grant.
Well, that's the one thing I noticed, Greg, in the first half. When you just try to throw the football down the field against the Miami Dolphins, they are covering these receivers. Brady, smart though, does the right thing. Nobody open, immediately looks to run to try to avoid a big loss.
And you have to think, Phil, if these Dolphins are going to get a spark here in the second half, Dave Wanstead is going to get it out of his defense first.
Well, that's what, hey, look, you got a football team, you think it's good. It's built around the fact that your defense can carry your football team.
Brady throws a bullet over the middle, complete to Troy Brown. Inside the 45-yard line and enough for a New England first down.
Good patience by the quarterback, Tom Brady, looking down the field and has to wait. Boy, nice catch, too, by Troy Brown. That was thrown hard by Tom Brady.
Since you're such a stickler for form, how is this young quarterback's form?
Well, you know, I said it to you guys. We were watching film of Tom Brady, and somebody, or he's worked at his coach team very well, gets in almost perfect position to throw the football, and if whatever ability he has, he takes advantage of it almost every time just because of those fundamentals.
Antoine Smith is back in the game and takes the handoff and moves inside the Miami 40-yard line.
You know, he said when he was at the University of Michigan, he was coached very hard on all the little things, Greg, about how to throw it, you know, the correct way. And look, we know he's getting coached hard up here in New England, and he's taking advantage of that. And sometimes you got players who have high skill levels, but they don't take advantage of it because of bad fundamentals. Tom Brady takes advantage of all of them.
That's Rod Rutledge coming off the field. We asked Brady about the change coming out of college and coming to the pros, and he said, you know, when you come out of college and you have that kind of career, you think you know everything, and then you get here and you realize, I know nothing.
Nothing. It is an unbelievable contrast.
Antoine Smith trying to break it outside, turning the corner, inside the 30-yard line and out of bounds for another first down. Terry Cousin ran him out after a 10-yard gain.
I think Zach Thomas said this properly when he talked about Antoine Smith. And this play really illustrates it. Nice straight arm against Terry Cousin. Antoine's just bigger and faster than I remember him being in Buffalo. But he says he's so patient. He takes the football and he waits. And he waits and sees the blocks, and then he goes. He never overcommits. And he says as a middle linebacker or a tackler, it makes it so hard.
Whistle blows. Flag is down. 133 rushing yards on the day.
Prior to the snap. False start. 77 offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
That's Mike Compton.
Yeah, I noticed too, Patrick Surtain is not in for this Miami defense. That hurts him. You know, Greg, you talked about it. You know, he had the surgery, and that's why we saw Terry Cousin in earlier, and that's got to be tough. A cast on your left hand, trying to play man coverage against these receivers.
First and 15 on the reverse. Here comes Brown. Brown cuts it back and is down to about the 31-yard line.
See, they even teach their wide receivers to run and cut back. But, hey, you're looking at the Miami Dolphins. Charlie Weiss over there drawing up these plays and calling them. And the Miami Dolphins defense, I would think Dave Wanstead at halftime says, hey, defense, get us back into the game. Well, the opening drive is not very good for this Dolphin defense.
Kevin Falk is in the backfield now on 2nd and 11. Here comes the blitz, and Brady goes down. Terry Cousin coming off the corner in a hurry.
That's what you need to do. That's the first time today. Tom Brady never sees it. You think it's going to be a pass, bring the rusher from the backside of the quarterback so he can't see it. Brady never sees it, but you know you're blitzing. Your defense knows it. Hustle to the football. Nobody there. Well, I'm sorry. It goes right back to Tom Brady.
So it's a 3rd and 19 now. A loss of 8 on the play. Brady with all kinds of time, and now running out of it and goes down.
Doesn't matter. You know, as a quarterback, Tom Brady could know that time when he dropped back that he can take all day, and if he gets sacked, it doesn't matter, because your punter is still going to kick it anywhere he wants. Nobody open down the field. Good protection.
And David Bowens
gets the sack.
3rd sack on that drive as well as on the day. Jeff Ogden is deep. Ken Walter puts it up. It bounces inside the 5, and there it will stay. Back out across the 5 to the 6-yard line. Nice bounce for Ken Walter. Meanwhile, David Bowens, a 3rd-year man out of Western Illinois, got himself a sack. We'll be right back.
Telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
In the bright red Christmas tie, there's Bob Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots, and his wife just to the left there, Myra, and his son, Jonathan, vice president, or vice chairman, rather, of the New England Patriots, on the phone. Dedicated Patriots fan for a long time, and then said, hey, I like them so much, I might as well own the team.
Yeah, it's nice to have that option in life. Doesn't he know it's cold out, though?
Fiedler out of his end zone, throws this side. Oh, what a pass over the 20-yard line and complete to James McKnight. That ball on its way, a penalty marker is down. That ball on its way well before McKnight made his move.
Well, he had to. He was under pressure. People, a defensive player at his feet, and Bobby Hamilton, 91, hits him late.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, 91 defense. Picked the quarterback up and drove him to the ground unnecessarily. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Oh, I know what they're saying. You cannot pick the quarterback up when he's defenseless and drive him into the ground. That last little effort is probably what Jeff Triplett saw, but well, you know what? If there's ever a doubt, they're going to throw the flag, because they're going to. You got to protect defenseless players.
And let's take into account what's happened here these last few moments. 3 sacks on that last drive by the Miami defense. The Patriots get a good punt, but then the penalty helps the Dolphins come out of their own end. Fiedler to throw. Little screen over the middle, and that's complete to Lamar Smith. Smith to midfield and out of bounds. And 2 big plays now have Miami in New England territory.
You know, and I know I played this game, Greg, and here's what happens. Miami moves the ball before half. It gives Jay Fiedler, Chan Gailey, who calls the plays, it gives them a chance to get a little confidence and rhythm, and we're seeing a result of that here in the second half in the first couple plays. That really does help the quarterback, and there's Chan Gailey, and not Miami, so he had to put a hat on that head today.
Chan said, you know, I know how to get 46 yards in 2 plays. He just did. On first down, Lamar Smith. Change of direction, gets to the 46-yard line.
But can they find a way to run the football? That's, you know, the Miami Dolphins last year, they run it. They play really good defense. That's what they are about. This year, especially late, I think the defense is starting to struggle. They cannot run the football, and it's there you go. Look at that statistic. 104, 20th in the league. Before the season, you would think they would be at least in the top 10 from what they did last year.
And just 39 yards today, they aren't even on a pace to crack that. 2nd and 8. Fiedler under pressure, can't get it away. Bobby Hamilton brings him down. The first sack of the day for New England, the 7th of the season for Hamilton.
Well, this New England defense, it is different. They tried different things up front. Bobby Hamilton, the whole defensive line, and Brandon Mitchell, 96. Richard Seymour pushes him up. They just do a lot. And even Jay Fiedler said it last night. He goes, man, they move around more than any defense that I've played so far in the National Football League. They definitely try to confuse the quarterback.
Miami 0 for 4 on 3rd down today. Fiedler trying to correct that. Hits over the middle, wide open inside the 35-yard line, and to the 30 is Chris Chambers.
See, I like it when these Dolphins, they just send a few people down the field because it gives them the extra time. Watch Chambers. Double teamed almost at the start. It's a zone, fights through it, and is wide open down the middle because the running back went through the middle. That made the middle open up, and Chambers fills it in.
Jay Fiedler did his part by scrambling a bit to his left and found time to throw. We're under 6.5 to play for the 3rd, and it's a 1st down Miami. Fiedler on the roll, throwing deep, and his intended receiver stopped and pulled up.
That's all right, nobody was open, they just throw it away.
James McKnight turned it up at about the 10-yard line, and that ball landed closer to the end zone.
You know, I just got to say this, though. I'm glad that it's a Saturday game here. It means a lot. And, you know, most of all, Greg, I'm glad that the weather is nice today. Because, see, if it was cold, you might have sat in your car and done it. And, of course, I'm referring to the fact that we went to practice on Thursday, and it was cold and windy.
It was Arctic.
And Greg sat in the car the whole time.
And you know what? My ears weren't red at the end of the day. Fiedler throws this side, complete to Chambers, who gets up and goes down again. His progress will be marked at about the 22-yard line.
Boy, this Chris Chambers, you look at him, he's 5'11". But when you look at him and you see him in person, he's got the body of about a 6'3" wide receiver. His legs, you know, his legs are about 36 inches long. He's got long arms, and he's a big receiver too. So when he goes down the field, he's able to push off, get position, and has the speed to run by you too.
All 3 of his catches today have come on the last 2 drives of Miami. 3rd and 2. On the ground. They're not going to make it.
Got to go for it here. I know a field goal puts you 14 points down, but you don't have many chances. You only got 5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Your defense can't stop the run. The clock continues to just move fast. You got to try to score a touchdown here.
Patriots fans come to their feet.
It's a solid yard.
4th and 1.
I'd throw it.
Lamar Smith didn't get there.
Not even close. Penetration by the defensive line. Nowhere for the offensive lineman to get out of the way. Tough for the runner.
Patriots with the stand, and we'll go the other way when we come back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36. Bud Light, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. And by Jeep Liberty. Jeep, there's only one.
Well, the Patriots might as well have had that ship on the front line on that defensive stand. They take over now at their own 21-yard line. Hello. Oh, Martian Center. Antoine Smith in the backfield. The pitch for Smith. Smith can't turn it outside and lost yardage on the play. It'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, let's go back and look at the 4th down play. You're the players. Romeo Crennel giving the signal. Watch this. Pay attention. Whoa, got a little weave. Yeah, all right. Man, and the players say, okay, coach wants us to stop him on 4th and short. But Romeo Crennel, longtime assistant in the National Football League, now the defensive coordinator. Boy, he has paid his dues to finally get a chance to run one of the units.
Brady straight drop throws outside, and that is complete to Troy Brown. That'll be enough for a 1st down out to the 32-yard line.
I think that's the first time they have thrown the football down the field today with success. I think it's the 2nd time Tom Brady's even tried. The longest pass was the one that Brady caught and ran. Nice throw to the outside.
The 95th reception of the season for Troy Brown. Antoine Smith weaving his way through the middle of that Miami defensive line.
Now again, you know, I know I'm beating this to death, and I'm going to say it again anyway. The Patriots eat up 6 minutes on their opening drive. The Dolphins have a nice drive, no points. You've got to stop them. They pick up a 1st down on a good throw, and now a huge run. Again on 1st, the Patriots letting the play clock go down inside 5 every time now.
On 2nd and 4, out across the 40 to the 41, and very close to a 1st down is Antoine Smith again, who has had a very active and successful day so far.
Well, he has. It's just nothing fancy. Good blocking up front, staying with the defensive players, hard running, a lot of yards after contact.
And great work by the offensive line up front, opening up the holes for Antoine Smith here today.
That's what you running backs to do. You want them to get you yards after they're hit.
Antoine Smith had 141 rushing yards just prior to that play.
That's a big play. Tim Bowens in the backfield stops it and keeps the Patriots from taking this game in the 4th quarter.
So Ken Walter onto the field to kick it away. And now the Dolphins will look to Jeff Ogden to get a decent return here in the final minute and 40 seconds of the 3rd quarter. Ogden, fair catch called for and made at about the 24-yard line. Under a minute and a half to play in the 3rd. We'll be back. Here's our NFL.com interactive poll for the day. Which stadium would be the toughest place for a road team to win a conference championship game? Log on, cast your vote, NFL.com. Fiedler to throw on 1st down. Trying to create some time. The quick flip over the middle is incomplete, intended for Hunter Goodwin, the tight end.
No TDs in their last 17 possessions. You know, you learn so much when you sit around teams for a couple days, but you know, they do such detailed scouting looks at the opposing team. And Bill Belichick, they did a detailed scouting, of course, on this Miami offense, and they just realized if we just keep field position somewhat good, that they really struggle driving the football down the field to get points. And they have done that well today. Dolphins not getting good field position.
Fiedler on 2nd and 10 over the middle. Nice pass across the 45 to Jeff Weaver for a 1st down. 23 yards on the play.
As you look at the game, Greg, Jay Fiedler, they've made a lot of good plays in the passing game. But the problem is they're trying to go 80 yards to make these scores. You can, boy, nice look at what Jay Fiedler sees, and not real big windows, are there, Greg, to throw the football in this league? But
as you so often point out, that's open.
That's open in the NFL.
Last 45 seconds of the 3rd quarter. Fiedler. Incomplete and close to being intercepted, intended for Chris Chambers. It'll be 2nd and 10. You know, we mentioned Hunter Goodwin a short while ago, and he's been helping perpetrate what we thought was a terrific joke on the ex-Miami Dolphin Larry Izzo. And Larry Izzo was leaving little notes for various players, and I guess Zach Thomas was one of those who was helping, saying, well, you know, what we've been doing, and Hunter Goodwin gave his tape to Coach Dave Wanstedt, and he played it for the whole team.
Larry Izzo used to play for the Dolphins, and he thought all these practical jokes and things were going to go into Patriots, but not true.
Into Miami territory to the 48-yard line is Fiedler after the protection broke down in a hurry.
Yeah, what's happening now, the Patriots, they're not concerned about a 5-yard run anymore. They're worried about getting to the quarterback.
And with 21 seconds to play in the third, the clock is stopped, and James McKnight is down on the turf. We'll check on James McKnight and come right back after this.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by A Diamond is Forever. Show her how much you love her this Christmas. And by new Pepsi Twist. Pepsi and Diet Pepsi with a twist of lemon.
We're back in Foxborough, and James McKnight is being helped off of the field, and let's take a look at what happened.
James McKnight, here he is, just blocking. Jay Fiedler falls on the back of his legs along with a few Patriots.
And he is coming off very, very gingerly. Oronde Gadsden not playing here today because of hamstring problems, so that would cut the wide receiver core to Chris Chambers, Dietrich Ward, and Jeff Ogden. Those are the 3 wide receivers in now on 3rd and 4. Dolphins are just 5 out of 18 on 3rd down in their last 2 games. Fiedler with time to look things over. A penalty marker is down. The pass is incomplete. And let's check the marker on the near side of the field. Let's see if a Dolphin receiver is being held up illegally.
Holding, 22 defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
The penalty is on the ex-Miami Dolphin, Terrence Shaw.
And what he's not going to like is the fact that he was holding Robert Conrad, who was just out in the flat, just standing around.
So first down now at the 43-yard line as the Dolphins try to get something on the board here. 8 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. He gives it to Travis Minor, and Minor can't get anywhere. So the running game still producing nothing for the Dolphins. That's the end of the 3rd. Our score, 20-3 in favor of New England. We'll come back after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. 2 all day long. This is the last regular season game here in Foxborough. The stadium opened by William Sullivan in 1971. Jim Plunkett played here. The snowplow game was here in 1982. And there was the run to end the 96-97 season to the Super Bowl 31. Lots of tremendous memories here in Foxborough. They'll be playing across the way next season. Fiedler to start the 4th quarter, throws to the far side. Rob Conrad, and Conrad inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line. Clock continues to move, and here is Foxborough Stadium, and just to the left of the scoreboard over there is the brand new CMGI Stadium, which will be the new home of the New England Patriots next season, and a beautiful place it is.
Yes, it is. Beautiful. A lot of space. Like all new stadiums, it's going to be fan-friendly. They're going to like it a lot more. Seats, more room.
Warmer seats over there.
And more people, yes.
3rd and 5. Big play here for Miami. James McKnight suffered a sprained ankle. He is back onto the field. Fiedler down the sideline for Chambers. One-handed penalty marker is down. It's incomplete. Let's see which way this call is going to go. Ty Law was right with him. It's going to be against Law.
Yeah, one thing you see a lot now by the Miami Dolphins.
Pass interference. Defense, number 24. Automatic first down.
I've talked to Jay Fiedler about this. When he sees the defense, he sees this coverage where the corner is right next to Chris Chambers. He knows Chris Chambers is going deep, and I'm going to throw the football to him. And you can't, if you ran that back, you can see, though, Ty Law grabs the arm.
It's a 1st and goal after a penalty, which is the equivalent of a 30-yard gain. From the 8-yard line, Fiedler throws this side, incomplete. Chambers, the intended receiver. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Chris Chambers against Otis Smith. Looking for the fade to the back of the end. Pretty good throw by Jay Fiedler. Just gets there so quick. Chris Chambers doesn't react to it.
Caught Otis Smith not looking at the football.
Boy, you know, down here, Greg, so many times we've done Dolphin games. Arondé Gadsden was the focus of their passing game inside the 20-yard line. He is not playing today.
2nd and goal, but loud for Chambers. It is incomplete. Hand-to-hand combat with Otis Smith. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Of course, Arondé's out. Now we know who they're going to look for. 3 straight to Chris Chambers. Jay Fiedler gets away with this one. Otis Smith in good position. Not able to make the catch.
Chris Chambers has 5 fourth-quarter touchdowns in his last 6 games. So he has become the go-to guy late for Jay Fiedler. 3rd and goal. Fiedler looks this side. It's complete. Penalty marker is down as Jed Weaver goes into the end zone. And let's check.
This could be just like we've seen twice from the Patriots side.
This time the call is against Miami as Lamar Smith and Brian Cox have exchanged words.
Pass interference, number 82 of the offense.
That's Jed Weaver.
Penalty remains 3rd down.
The man who caught the pass. Now on this drive, the Pats defense has been guilty of penalties twice on 3rd down. This time it's Miami.
Well, there was a reason why he was wide open. Well, now you get this situation, Greg. We talked about early in the game how hard it is to score, to throw it in against this Patriots defense. If you don't pick up, if you don't score here, I would think for sure the Dolphins would try to kick a field goal now.
3rd and goal. Time running down on the play clock. Fiedler barely gets it off on time. Looking, throws. It is inside the 5 and incomplete, intended for Weaver.
That's not a tough decision to make now. 3rd and goal. From this far out, you have to kick the field goal. Or 4th and goal, I should say. Jay Fiedler taking a chance, being aggressive, trying to throw it to Weaver. Matt Stevens and Terrell Buckley both there for the coverage.
So this will be Olindo Mare from 36 yards out. The kick is away and straight enough and is long enough. And for the 2nd time today, Mare has a field goal. It's 20-6, New England. The numbers tell you that the Patriots greatly assisted the Dolphins on that drive of 58 yards. Olindo Mare capped it with a 36-yard field goal. 13:41 to play, 20-6 New England lead. Patrick Pass is deep for the kick. Pass, running start from the 14. And Russell down at the 30-yard line. Scott Gallion, reserve linebacker, makes the stop after a 16-yard return, and we'll be right back. .32 to play here in the fourth quarter, and before you bail on the Miami Dolphins, keep in mind they have scored more points in the fourth quarter than any other team in the National Football League this season.
1st and 10, Patriots at the 30.
Brady, all the time in the world, and now goes deep and overthrows the intended receiver, Troy Brown. Terry Cousin was with it.
Now, I've kind of talked about this a few times today, but Greg, this is it. Your defense, it's got to come through for you. You got to protect the time that's left on the clock, and you've got to get off the field in 3 downs. And Jim Bates, of course, he knows that. The first play, they blitzed Tom Brady. Good coverage on the outside. 2nd and 10.
That tells you what the Miami defense has done. J.R. Redmond now in the backfield. And Redmond gets a handoff and is out to the 33 or 34-yard line. And Miami defense, it appears, will have to go the rest of the way without the rookie Moreland Greenwood, outside linebacker, who has suffered a dislocated left shoulder. Or Derek Rogers, I'm sorry, the other linebacker, Moreland Greenwood. 3rd and 7. Brady has it batted into the air, and it's incomplete. Number 96, David Bowens, was in there.
You can just feel the difference, how it's the momentum, the energy, the emotion, it's gone. And the New England Patriots knew it. They came out with a play-action pass on 1st down to try to change field position and get it going again on offense. But Miami, really a good series, 3 and out, gives their offense the football back quickly.
That's Jeff Ogden standing back at his own 15-yard line. Walter's kick is high, but not very deep, and a fair catch is called for, and now he lets it bounce. And it bounces inside the 20 to the 18-yard line, and when Jeff Ogden gets to the sideline, I'm sure somebody's going to say, you got to fair catch that football. That's a difference of about 15 to 20 yards.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Saturn. Now with 2 distinctively different car lines, the L Series and S Series. 10-10-220. For great long-distance rates anywhere in America and around the world, dial 10-10-220. And by Centrum Performance, with more key nutrients to help energize your mind and body.
12:31 to play in the fourth quarter, and these New England Patriots with their sights firmly focused on the AFC East title. Beating the Dolphins here would be a huge hurdle. Penalty markers fly. This play won't count.
Prior to the snap, false start, 82 offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
Dave Wanstead shaking his head because anytime it seems that the Miami Dolphins start to get something going, something happens to his team.
Yeah, they've made their penalties have been disastrous to their football team today. And when this is over, that'll be one of his biggest gripes. They put themselves in so many bad positions and helped the New England Patriots a couple times on offense by penalties which they had control over.
7th penalty of the day on Miami. 1st and 15. Fiedler over the middle, and that's complete to Weaver, and Weaver out across the 25-yard line. Pickup of 13 will make it 2nd and 2, and for the best NFL coverage on the net, including expert analysis and live scoreboards, go to cbs.sportsline.com, or your AOL keyword is CBS Sportsline. Now this is the time as Lawyer Malloy was pointing out to us, that it's time for the New England Patriots defense to stand up and just not totally surrender to the offense. Fiedler. Incomplete, and a fine defensive play by Terrence Shaw. But he was talking about the acquisition of the veteran players who know how to play the game on defense, particularly at this part of the game.
Yeah, you know, that's right. New England, with all the new players they brought in, the free agents, the veterans, and Lawyer Malloy said it, the strength of what we do. We just can't, like, overpower you and stop you cold, but we think it's very hard for you to drive down the field, make a lot of plays, and score a touchdown. Evidence, only 2 field goals given up today.
And now the Dolphins are forced to use a timeout. They stop the clock with 11:48 to play here in the fourth. That is the first timeout they have used here in the second half. And this reminder, Sunday on CBS, the only thing Professor Max Bickford loves more than teaching is inspiring his own kids. CBS invites you to see television at its best. The Education of Max Bickford, Sunday on CBS.
You know, I enjoyed being a fan last Sunday. We did a Saturday game. It was great. It really was. It was. By the time football was done last Sunday, I was exhausted because I watched them all. But like us today, Greg, we're driving to the game, and I see fans out in the parking lot. They're cooking hot dogs or bratwurst or whatever it is, and I go, man, it's just a nice thing to do. Come to the game, have some fun.
It wasn't so cold.
Oh, you are. So, yeah, just to let you know, we're out here in the cold. Greg's got a heater by his feet. It's about 1 inch away, but it's for both of us, right? Yeah. Thanks for sharing.
3rd and 2. Big play here for Fiedler. Fiedler eludes the grasp, looking for some place to throw the football now. On the run, throws down the sideline, and that's complete. Jeff Ogden made the catch. That's enough for a first down, and what a play by Jay Fiedler.
Yeah, how good was that? Jay Fiedler under pressure. Nobody's open. Number 98, Anthony Pleasant, from the right side, grabs his jersey, cannot pull him down. Fiedler just staying alive. Finally spots the receiver open down the field.
Prior to the snap, New England takes its first charge team timeout.
So the Patriots take their first timeout. 11.5 to play in the fourth quarter, and Miami desperately trying to get back in it.
Boy, Jay Fiedler just staying alive. This gives the Miami Dolphins at least a chance to stay in the football game.
Fiedler with the pass to Chambers, and Chambers on the way to the 40, the 30, the 20. Run out of bounds inside the 15-yard line by Lawyer Malloy. Little bubble screen to the near side, and boy, does he have some get up and go.
Boy, does he have the speed. What execution. Watch Chambers from the outside. The block coming. Dedrick Ward, Heath Irwin, the offensive lineman, the left guard pulling out and making a terrific block. The Patriots had basically stopped the screen game by the Miami Dolphins today until that play.
So Chambers, we told you, fourth quarter seems to be his time of the day.
And he is fast.
On first down, Lamar Smith, right side, just short of the 10. Brandon Mitchell, Teddy Bruschi with the stop after a 3-yard gain. It's 2nd and 7. Now, both these teams have had red zone problems today. This is the 7th trip into the red zone by both teams, and only one has come away with a touchdown.
Well, yeah, Miami struggles running the football, so I've always said this, Greg, once you get near the goal line, you got to be more creative in your play calling, because the defense knows they don't have to cover anything deep anymore, so it makes it harder to throw the football.
2nd and 7. Throws inside the 5 and complete at the 5-yard line to Chambers. Chambers was inside the 5-yard line, and his momentum brought him back to the 5. 10 minutes to play, fourth quarter.
Boy, and Chris Chambers, as you watch this Dolphin team over the last 5-6 weeks, it's just every single week he becomes more of a factor, more of a focus. And he says, I even notice it now. The other teams, they're paying a lot more attention to me than they did early in the year when I was just an unproven rookie.
Big third down play here, 3rd and 2. Fiedler on the move, pass, penalty marker is down.
Wow, what a catch. What a throw. The only spot he could have let it go to.
Illegal formation. Only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
Oh, again, what a killer of a penalty for the Miami Dolphins.
Greg, it's almost unforgivable, some of these penalties. Let's see if we can figure it out. Well, here it is. No wide receiver on this side is on the line of scrimmage. Tight end on this side. Somebody has to move up, cover the tackle. They don't do it.
So instead of a 3rd and 2, or better yet, a 1st and goal, it's 3rd and 7.
And you know, you can get away with that every time. All you have to do is look outside to the official and say, am I okay? And he'll give you a signal, yes.
Or no.
Or no, that's right. Then you move.
Fiedler lobs for the end zone. Incomplete. Jet Weaver, his intended receiver.
Matt Stevens on the coverage. A lot of contact down the field. Jay Fiedler tries to wait as long as he can. Has to anticipate about 2 foot too long. 2 feet.
4th and 7. Now Fiedler needs the 3-yard line for a 1st down. Throws over the middle, and that's complete inside the 5 to Lamar Smith. Is that a loose football, or was he down? The officials looking at each other.
No whistle, no point to the ground.
We have ourselves a questionable result right here. Jeff Triplett consults, and they say it's a fumble. Boy, you bet. Yeah, Dave Wanstead is looking for that buzzer. He's about to challenge this.
Hey, even if you don't find out, you got to challenge it because it is the game. To Bucky Jones again. It's out. Just a solid hit. Twice today to Bucky Jones has made big hits to take the football away from receivers.
And Lamar Smith,
we are reviewing the ruling on the field of a catch and fumble recovered by New England.
About another half second, and it looked like the Patriots had themselves, or the Dolphins had themselves, a 1st and goal.
Boy, to Bucky Jones, he is one of the bigger safeties in the National Football League. A tremendous hitter. That was his reputation coming out of the University of Syracuse. And, you know, he does a lot of things well, Greg. They brought him into the league as a corner. Now he plays safety, and he's so valuable. Let's watch the play again. He's so valuable on special teams that they take him out sometimes on defense just to rest him for those reasons. And you can see the football is coming out as Lamar Smith is going down.
The uproar you hear in the stadium, the fans have just seen it on the screen. And they just heard it, saw it again.
You know, sometimes Lamar Smith was in good position, both hands on the football, but the contact is just so solid that even though you're trying to protect it.
After reviewing the play, it was a catch. The receiver was hit. The ball slipped out under his waist before his rear end hit the ground. Therefore, the ruling on the field stands. It is a fumble. 1st and 10, New England.
You know, Jeff Triplett probably does as good a job of explaining a situation as anyone we've come across in the National Football League.
And what it really does, it just helps the fans, as I said earlier, Greg, and You see that 7 turnovers by the Dolphins. Dave once said if he has one pet peeve in this game, or in any game, and he talks about his team, turnovers just drive him crazy. And last week, 3 interceptions. This week, 2 huge fumbles.
Meanwhile, New England, in their last 5 games, are a +8 in the turnover department, so they've been making it happen. 8:51 to play. Now, what the Dolphins need now is a quick turnover of their own.
Well, what the Patriots said they wanted, long drives by the Dolphins. Let's see if they can do it without making a mistake. They haven't.
Penalty markers fly as Antoine Smith gets the handoff and is wrapped up at the 3-yard line. And it would appear that a Dolphin was offside.
Still plenty of time. The Dolphins have got to be careful. Don't see what it is.
Offside defense, number 58. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Well, Dave Wanstead has done a lot of that today, hasn't he? Stood on the sideline shaking his head.
I was going to say, Greg, you got 8:45 to go. You still have 1 timeout. You can get the football back at least 2 times. Don't overcommit on defense. Don't give up a cheap play. Don't commit an offsides penalty.
It's now 1st and 5. Smith to the 14, the 15-yard line, and a first down. Zach Thomas with the tackle, but Antoine Smith has done the job on the ground game today.
Boy, he has the tackles. Well, the whole offensive line for the New England Patriots just getting some movement, and Antoine Smith is just barreling ahead for some good yards.
148 rushing yards on the day, a career high for Antoine Smith. And, you know, it bears repeating. As Bill Belichick said, you know, he was freed up fairly early.
Well, they were hoping for that. In June, the Buffalo Bills had to let him go because of salary cap restrictions. The Patriots were hoping for that. They signed him, I think, 2 days later.
And Smith just keeps adding to the total out to the 21-yard line.
You know, the same division, Greg. The Bills and the Patriots in the same division. They knew what Antoine Smith, what he could do. And, of course, Antoine Smith knew he was in trouble, too. With the Bills, he started looking around the league and going, where can I go? Where can I play? And what fits me? He knew the Patriots are a good fit for him.
Don't you wonder where this game might be if he didn't have that bad right leg for most of the day? 7:15 to play in the 4th.
66.
And J.R. Redmond has come on now for Antoine Smith. Redmond tries the left side and has stood up at the 20. Zach Thomas.
Well, we haven't heard his name a lot today, Zach Thomas. I did ask him, Daryl Gardner not being, has it hurt you as far as your ability to run around and make tackles? Because Daryl Gardner, defensive lineman, they got to protect Zach Thomas. He says, no, the guys that are in there now, they are protecting me just as well.
14 tackles today. And Phil, you know, as we know, the tackles are divided up into tackles and then solo tackles. He has more solo tackles than the next Miami Dolphin has total tackles. And has a first down across the 25-yard line. Brian Walker brought him down, but not before he picked up the first down.
You know, that is just, that's a commitment to what the system is about with the New England Patriots. They teach their runners a certain way to run. That time it was J.R. Redmond, but a good example how important a yard is. Brian Walker has him stopped short of the first down because they're taught to run hard like that. Don't dance around. He picks up the first down.
Keeps the sticks moving. 20 first downs on the day for the Patriots. And a season-high 194 rushing yards for New England. Smith gets a couple out of a nothing play there.
Yeah, and as you watch this game today, you know, I'm just sitting here thinking about the overall game. I'm thinking, well, to make it simple, the Patriots just managed the game, I think, better. They didn't commit the fouls. They didn't do some of the silly things that keep the other team's drive going. They protected the clock. They came up with a few key calls in the right situation to put their team ahead. One, the pass to the quarterback, and that's been the difference. Dolphins not playing under control the way you would expect a 9-4 team to do it.
So that's wrapped up, and it'll be a third down. We told you earlier that the Miami Dolphins could clinch a playoff spot with a victory today. That's not going to happen. We'll outline the playoff possibilities for the New England Patriots when we come back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by American Express, wishing you all the best this holiday season. And by Selsun Blue Shampoo, to help keep your dandruff from sending the wrong signals.
.53 remaining in the fourth quarter here at Foxborough Stadium. We look at the 237th and final regular season game to be played in this stadium. The Patriots would like to extend the life of this stadium to the postseason. This is J.R. Redmond on the right side. As we look at the numbers in the AFC playoff race, consider this for the New England Patriots. A win today and a New York Jet loss will give them a playoff berth. A win and a Baltimore loss will put New England into the postseason, as will a win and a Seattle loss or tie, or should the Dolphins come back to tie the Patriots here and a Seattle loss. You got that, folks?
Oh, yeah, sure.
We'll have a quiz in about 2 minutes.
You lost me after the second one. I said, okay, I'm going to quit listening. And let's just wait
go home and watch.
Yeah, that's right. Let's just watch and wait for another week.
And now we have a timeout on the field. While we have the opportunity, coming up next, two hotbeds of hoop collide when Keith Bogans and the Kentucky Wildcats tangle with Jared Jeffries and the new-look Indiana Hoosiers. That's next on the home of the NCAA Championship, CBS Sports.
You know, as you talk about the playoffs and all that, I think Dave Wanstead said it perfectly last night to us. You know, we were saying, well, what is your team doing? And he goes, well, we're not stopping to running the football, and we're turning it over. None of the things that we need to do to be a good playoff team. But he goes, you know what? Nobody else in the league is doing it either. So we're all in the kind of the same boat, except for two teams who are absolutely separating from the rest. The St. Louis Rams and the Pittsburgh Steelers have made a distinct, I think, jump over the rest of the teams in the league.
You know, we're in the habit of sending out good wishes, Phil, and while we're at it, as we usually do, our BA extraordinaire Ryan Galvin, all of us at CBS on our crew here send our best wishes out to Ryan's mom, Mary. Happy holidays, good wishes, all that good stuff. Ken Walter with the kick.
Just don't swing.
Bearcat called for and made by Ogden at the 21-yard line. 46-yard punt, and Jay Fiedler with no timeouts to work with and 4 minutes even on the clock is down by a score of 20-6.
Yep, just do this. 4-down territory always. You just try as an offense. Don't worry about the clock too much. Try to score a touchdown. Of course, that's always the goal, but just knowing you got the onside kick and you hope you can get one throw into the end zone.
And you and I were talking during the timeout, Phil, that you know the Dolphins had their chances earlier in this quarter down here in the red zone.
Chris Chambers almost catches a touchdown pass. They fumble. They commit a penalty and don't get a touchdown one other time.
And a penalty that prevents a first and goal. Fiedler out of the shotgun. Going down. Anthony Pleasant was all over the quarterback.
Probably one of the surprises to me is the New England Patriots. Anthony Pleasant, number 98, another one of those free agent pickups by Bill Belichick, that the pressure they have put on Jay Fiedler today.
That one bounces before it reaches the intended receiver, Dedrick Ward, and Fiedler is meeting the turf more often than he would like in the closing minutes of this game.
Yeah, and Anthony Pleasant again, putting the pressure on him.
3rd and 12. And now this New England crowd just on its feet and cheering their local heroes. draw to Travis Minor. Minor wrapped up at the 25-yard line. Willie McGinnis, number 55, with the stop, and it'll be 4th and 6. Fiedler on 4th down, steps up, over the middle, that's complete. Across the 40, out to the 45-yard line to James McKnight, and that's enough for a Miami 1st down. Remember, the Dolphins out of timeouts.
Nice job by Jay Fiedler. Look to his right and then just wheel and spots McKnight to his left side and makes a perfect throw.
Far side of the field, and that's complete to the 35-yard line in Chambers. $17-yard pickup.
Another good throw. Bill Belichick trying to be smart with his defense, not taking any chances.
Fiedler looking, dancing, and now is going to run. Tripped up at the 35 and down at the 33, Roman Pfeiffer. Another one of those veterans that Bill Belichick had brought in and has really helped to fill the bill on defense.
Yeah, he's played well this season. We talked about Anthony Pleasant.
Minor. And Minor to the 30-yard line, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play. Dave Wannstedt would love a lot more time. Bill Belichick says run that clock. Right there, one of the more intriguing stories in the NFL this year. Drew Bledsoe on the left, and his replacement since game 3 or game 2, Tom Brady. 3rd and 4 for Fiedler and the Dolphins. To the near side of the field, and that is complete. And out of bounds now to James McKnight.
You know, Greg, this game is not over yet, but just to go back to Drew Bledsoe and Tom Brady real quick. Tom Brady said it perfectly. Oh, and so did Lawyer Malloy. Drew Bledsoe has handled this situation so well that it's enabled his team to go on and keep winning and not be a disruptive force. And, you know, Drew Bledsoe has been so successful. It's really a credit to him, and we should be proud of the way he's handled a very, very tough situation.
Here comes the blitz on Fiedler. Fiedler throws incomplete. Too high for Ogden to handle, and there's marker down. Right in the middle of the field.
Dedrick Ward was held by Terrence Shaw.
C.J. Fiedler trickling a little blood around the nose.
Holding, 22 defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Shaw, the offender.
Yeah, I thought I saw Jay Fiedler's nose bleeding earlier, but Terrence Shaw, he's there. There's Dedrick Ward, number 87. Yep, just pulls him down. Contact too long.
On 1st down, Fiedler throws, and that one's complete inside the 15 to Chambers.
What a catch.
2nd and 1. Chambers 124 receiving yards on the day, 76 of them here in the 4th quarter. Here comes the blitz. Fiedler throws. It is touchdown. Jeff Ogden made the catch in the end zone with 1:28 to play.
Nice drive by the Dolphins. Jay Fiedler has been on target today. Has played a very good football game, throwing the ball with authority and accuracy. Just drills it in before Otis Smith turns and looks for the football.
Chambers coming off the field with a little bit of a limp.
Well, the receiving core for the Dolphins is getting beat up.
Miami's first touchdown in its last 20 drives. Mare's kick is good. That makes it a 20-13 ball game as Chambers is tended to on the sideline. Let's go back to the touchdown.
Touchdown, Jay Fiedler just sees the coverage. Only one defender outside. Throws a line drive. Ogden, nice catch.
Meanwhile, on the very top of your screen is 84, Chris Chambers, and boy, he didn't even get hit, just pulled up limping.
Yeah, it was hurting him from the play before. That looks like it could be cramps, Greg. You know, with my medical background, I can figure these things out.
Yes, doctor.
Yeah, I know.
You see Chambers' numbers. Meanwhile, Fiedler, with 320 yards throwing on the day, has notched a career high.
Yeah, he has thrown the football well. Three times. What am I kidding? Lamar Smith fumbling inside about the 2-yard line. Jed Weaver fumbling early in the game at midfield. The touchdown to Jed Weaver called back. So Jay Fiedler has given this football team and the Miami Dolphins many chances to be in it. Played well enough for them to win today. Some of his teammates didn't.
Meanwhile, for Jeff Ogden, that was the first career receiving touchdown for him. He has scored on punt returns, but first touchdown catch of his career.
Well, Linde Mare is very, very good at the style of onside kicks that he does. He can come back, kick it really hard, and he can go straight up in the air and allows his team a chance to get down underneath it.
Well, with no timeouts remaining, the Dolphins need the ball back, and here we go. Popped up into the air, and oh, what a grab by Fred Coleman, and he was hit right away. Scramble for the ball on the near side, but it's going to belong to New England. Fred Coleman is a first-year man out of Washington. He went up and made the grab that was critical to this New England team, but oh, what a hit he took.
There's the kick, one hop straight up in the air. Probably went down the field farther than they hoped it would. But you're right, I cannot see who makes the hit. Oh, it's David Bowens. Special teams, terrific special teams player, even though he's a defensive lineman.
Oh, that ball did come loose for just a second.
He was down when it came loose, though. Boy, nice hit. How about this? This is not like a running back, the backup running back coming down the field, did you? This is a backup defensive tackle running down there making that hit.
Fred Coleman getting all of the congratulations on the sideline. He just doesn't know it.
Easy grab. Well, the Patriots, they have been impressive today. They did something in the second half that was hard. They were just trying to protect the lead, win this football game, and
Bill Belichick getting doused. The New England Patriots about to win their 5th in a row, their 7th in the last 8, their 9th in the last 11. And it's going to bring to a close 3 decades of football here in Foxborough, Massachusetts, in this stadium.
Well, they're going to run one more play, and that will be it. You know, Greg, we got the sense when we're up here. It's a team. They're together. Everybody's involved in the games.
And it's a team that came together after a slow start. A 1-3 start for these New England Patriots. And now Bill Belichick leads the charge onto the field as his Patriots move to 10-5 on the year. And a giant step toward the AFC East Championship. A hug for Tom Brady. They got 196 rushing yards on the day, keyed by a terrific performance by Antoine Smith. For Phil Simms and Armin Katayan, Greg Gumbel saying so long from Foxborough. Our final score, the Patriots 20, Miami 13. We'll be sending you to Jim Nantz and Company in New York for the NFL Today right after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS.